Hey, what's going on everyone? Vega here for Serpent Tech, and in this video we're going to go over how to install FluxCore on your Windows or Linux system. First, starting with Ubuntu or Linux. The website you want to go to is leaderboard.fluxcore.ai. You're going to see in the top left-hand corner, download Flux. It's going to give you a little warning telling you about exciting times ahead, letting you know that this is a beta release and to provide any feedback for them. But for Linux, all you need to do is mouse over the Linux icon. You're going to see the command bash -i curl download yada yada yada. So just go ahead and click that, and then you're going to want to go to your Linux or Ubuntu based operating system and paste that in there by right clicking and then hit enter. It is going to install some dependencies, like for example, if you do not have WireGuard installed, it's going to install it for you. Just let it do its thing. It might ask you for your password depending on your administrative privileges on the machine, and then you're going to see what's here right now on your screen. Kind of see the FluxCore logo and everything, and we got four options: install FluxCore, uninstall, fix Frankenstein script, host file management. So we're just going to choose one and then hit enter, and it's going to start the installation process after you type in your administrative password. While we're waiting for that to get started, I do want to show you what it looks like for Windows. So we're going to click that same thing, I understand, and go ahead and download the Windows 64-bit. You might have your antivirus flag you. Don't worry about that. You just want to make sure you add an exception. A couple of ways you could do that. If you have normal Windows, you can just turn off real-time protection and then click the download button again. If you have a third-party antivirus, you just need to add an exception for that file. You can see here, delete from history. So if we go to our downloads, we can tell Google and everybody to just chill out. I want to download this dangerous file. Continue, and then there is the exe. So if we launch that, it's going to pop up a secondary window. Expand and run anyway. A window will load up. It's going to take a second for everything to engage. Just give it a minute while we're waiting for that. Let's go ahead and move back. We could set the IP for local hosts, which is usually what everybody does. But any other IP other than localhost is a security risk and should be selected only by advanced users. Use the up-down arrows to highlight the IP you want to press. So if you want to set the IP of the machine, yada, 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 whatever you want to do, just hit the space bar in order to do it. So we're just going to leave it on localhost and hit space or enter. There you go. You can access it here. Here's the IP address. We could copy that. Sorry, do not hit Control-C. And then we can paste that in our browser to access it. Meanwhile, Windows is doing something as it's trying to get ready. All right, start. Checking version, up to date. Machine ID, information, unique identifiers. This is all going to change. I'm not going to leave it on this. But if you wanted to, you could download. It's going to download to your machine. Next, this is the Windows setup that we're going through right now. You can see here, I have not gone to the local URL, right? So when we load up this one, it's going to go through the same process that I just showed you on Windows. So it's initializing there. Let's go back here, checking capabilities, hardware scan, checking CPU, checking GPU, checking memory. Same exact step. So I understand start. It's going to give it a unique information, machine ID, password, all that good stuff. Again, download the file to your local device. Next. I wouldn't share that with anybody. Make sure you keep it nice and secure, but we got the operating system and everything being installed on the Linux machine or Ubuntu machine, and then another one being installed on my Windows machine. You can see I failed here because this Linux or Ubuntu machine only has a dual-core CPU. So we could continue anyway, or we could hit show details to see more. So AVX is not enabled on this particular one, and 2 cores is really not enough. You want more cores than that. But we're going to go ahead and continue anyways. Switching back to the Windows side of things, is doing speed tests, is checking connectivity, is checking everything, making sure that the system meets said requirements. Doesn't like our speed, but it's going to continue on with the installation. And now here we are on the main FluxCore OS. We can change it to dark mode down here. Plenty of cool things that we can do. Only available in Windows. I believe that's to run that command prompt window. We can refresh it. We could sign in with our Flux information. We can manage our machines, add machines, scan the network for other machines, GPU model. It doesn't see any GPUs, but on the Windows machine, let's go back over here. Continue anyway. Let it finish, and you should be able to see we have a 7900 XTX on this machine, right? So it is detecting it. 7900 XTX. If I integrated GPU was showing up or enabled, it would show up here, and we can see what's going on. We could run benchmark, refresh the connection, or do a cloud download, I believe. Let's go ahead and click that button. No updates. Refresh. Right, you're about to rescan this machine. If we changed any of the hardware, speed for bench type, all test, benchmark, blender, CPU, disk, memory, speed test, which we already ran during the initial setup, so we could run that and add our information or data because we don't have any benchmark scores. We'll probably do that. You can see here stop or refresh. Are you sure you want to restart the FluxCore app? Nope. Stop is to stop the FluxCore app. And then you can see that the system is idle. We can manage multiple machines by clicking the little box here on the left to stop, restart, rescan, whatever it might be. We can add new machines. You need to authenticate to add a new machine. So I haven't logged into anything, so we need to log in first. But we can manage everything right here from the main FluxCore OS, which is pretty cool. You can manage your account, which we're not signed into. You can see any documentation, see support. And I'm pretty sure once we have everything set up and signed in, we can do some mining. So just the basic install for your Linux or Ubuntu system and Windows system is very, very easy. Again, go to leaderboard.fluxcore.ai and you're going to click the download FluxCore beta. It's going to give you a little warning advising you. Feel free to share your feedback. It is still in beta. There might be some bugs. They're fine-tuning. Share whatever you're bumping into. Download the exe for Windows. Make sure your antivirus allows it or you add an exception. Let it go through the setup process and configure it. Don't forget to download your config, but don't share that with anybody. And then for Ubuntu/Linux, you need to run this command right here, which if you copy, and I showed you before, you can just paste and it'll run through the initial setup process. But it's just that easy to get FluxCore up and running. What you do in FluxCore is pretty cool. So all I'm going to do is run some benchmarks. This machine there's no point to it. So I'm going to uninstall it because it's just running my FPGA. It doesn't have any GPUs connected to it, and the dual core is not going to be enough. At least have yourself a system with 4 cores or more, at least, in my opinion. 6 core, 12 core, like a 2600, 5600X or above. Something like that would be perfectly fine. But you can always log in via the local IP or set it to a static IP so you can access it from any of your machines on your local network just to manage it, log in a FluxCore, and do a lot. Because you can also, once you have logged in, set up some mining. But again, the focus of this video was just to show you how easy it is to install FluxCore on a Windows or Linux system. Let me know your thoughts of FluxCore down in the comment section below, and do me a favor on the way out. Hit that like button, get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. So we'll check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here, and you just have yourself a wonderful day. Take care. I'll catch you next one. Before I let you go, if you ever need to uninstall it on the Linux system, you're going to run that same exact command that we showed you before, and then you're going to choose option 2 and hit enter, and it's going to uninstall FluxCore from this Linux distro or Linux based operating system. On Windows, it's going to say online to just go to your control panel, uninstall programs, and search for FluxCore to uninstall, but the only one that shows up here is Cloudflared, not FluxCore. So go to Start, type in FluxCore, and you'll see right below it, uninstall FluxCore. And you can uninstall the program from your systems if you needed to. Uninstall was successful, but that is just as quickly as we added it, we have removed it from both systems. Take care.